The vision in Daniel 7 starts with four winds striving on a great sea. This represents wars and strife among the populations of the whole known world. Then Daniel sees four beasts coming out of the sea, representing nations being forged, parallel to the four metals for Daniel 2. One common attribute all these beasts have in Scripture is their aggression, their devouring nature. The first is a lion with wings, matching the head of gold and is Babylon, or what we sometimes call Neo-Babylonia, Nebuchadnezzar's kingdom, the kingdom Daniel currently resided in. Interestingly, Jeremiah 49 compares Nebuchadnezzar to both a lion and an eagle. Representations of lions, often with wings, are found throughout Babylon. Its wings were plucked, and it was made to stand on its feet like a man, and a man's heart was given to it. A lion is biblically perceived as strong and mighty, stalking its prey, its roar causing fear as it ravenously devours. The wings represent swiftness. The wings were plucked, Babylon lost its military swiftness. Nebuchadnezzar ruled almost 40 years, and in the 20 years after he died, Babylon went through 5 kings, who were not as interested in conquest, and Wikipedia indicates they had only minor military action. The lion was made to stand on its feet like a man, losing its lion-like qualities. Biblically, a man's feet runs quickly to mischief, indications that the kingdom was in a decadent and wicked downward spiral. The Bible defines the heart of a lion as valiant, strong, bold, determined, and mighty, and a man's heart is evil and full of plans. In its declining years, Babylon became weak and enfeebled through wealth and luxury. Some commentators also see a contrast to Daniel 4, where Nebuchadnezzar is given a beast's heart for 7 years, and at the end acknowledge the God of heaven as sovereign. Acknowledging God as sovereign would remove the lion-like tendencies and the wings of conquest, weakening the empire. The second beast like a bear, matching the silver arms and chest of Daniel 2, is Medo-Persia. It was raised up on one side. We know that the Persians were much stronger than the Medes. In Scripture, a bear is pictured as roaring, ranging, ravenous, charging, prowling, hungry, lying in wait, tearing. Commentators note a fitting match to the lumbering Achaemenid Empire, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth between its teeth. Ribs are not strongly attested to in Scripture, however they appear to mean peoples and nations. Commentators tend to agree that the Achaemenid Empire merged the Medes and Persians and then conquered 3 large areas. Lydia in Asia Minor in 546 BC, Babylon in 539 BC, and Cyrus' son Cambyses conquered Egypt in 525 BC and made vassals out of many more smaller kingdoms. Not overly fast, but like a lumbering bear they ranged and prowled, hungry for the spoils of war. Lastly, the bear was to arise and devour much flesh. Some commentators note that the Persian Empire was the largest the world had yet seen, although larger was to come, and the kings that followed Cyrus were notably intolerant and cruel. The third beast, like a leopard, with 4 heads and 4 wings, matching the bronze torso and thighs of Daniel 2, is Alexander's Greco-Macedonian Empire. Wings still denote swiftness, and leopards are also denoted as swift, so with a double set of wings, this leopard would be exceptionally swift. In 3 years, Alexander conquered all the Middle East, from Egypt to India. By comparison, it took Nebuchadnezzar 3 years just to conquer Judah. Alexander's kingdom was also given dominion over people. This includes culture, as Hellenism and Greek philosophy permeated the Hellenistic kingdoms. The 4 heads denote the 4 contemporaneous kingdoms that Alexander's generals divided his kingdom into after his death. All 4 remained Greco-Hellenistic, and thus were heads of the same beast. The 4th beast was dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly, with great iron teeth and nails of brass. It devoured and brake in pieces, stomped the residue, and different from the other beasts. Presumably Daniel could find no natural beast by which he could compare this creature. With an emphasis on the teeth, horns, and nails, this beast is often portrayed in art as some sort of lizard or dinosaur or dragon, especially when similar beasts in Revelation are explicitly described as a dragon and as scarlet. This beast has many similarities to the dragon in Revelation 12, the beasts in Revelation 13, and in Revelation 17. The beast also matches the iron legs of Daniel 2 and denotes the Roman Empire. The dragon was one of the emblems of the Roman Empire. A gradual transition and takeover of the Greco-Hellenistic kingdom started in 168 BC when Rome conquered Macedonia, and was accomplished by 30 BC, when Cleopatra committed suicide and Rome took over Egypt. Being a transition from Greco-Hellenism to Roman influence, we see many scholars refer to the Roman culture as Greco-Roman because of the heavy Greco-Hellenistic influence. This could be the nails of brass, and hailing back to Daniel 2, we see leftovers from the previous brass kingdom. This could be part of what Daniel was trying to warn about with the rise in clay, a continuity of ancient Babylonian paganism mixed with Greek philosophy. Errors mixing with the truth. As with the mouths of the previous beast, this indicates fearful devouring. This beast's great iron teeth denote the cruelty and strength of the Roman Empire. Sometimes whole cities were destroyed by Rome. Corinth in 146 BC is an example. But subjugation was the goal, and where Rome did not or could not subjugate a population, it sold them into slavery. Many commentators expose stamped with the residue of his feet to mean abject slavery. This is the first time we see horns, and this kingdom had 10. The 10 horns were not empires that mopped up the Roman Empire, but extensions of the Roman Empire, and many commentators see them as parallel to the 10 toes, and they were mixed with clay. The area that seems to be indicated would be Western Europe, as the south and eastern edges of the Roman Empire were mopped up by the Islamic Empire, similar in manner to the way the Hellenistic Seleucid Empire was pushed west by the Parthians until Rome took it over. Roman culture was pushed into Western Europe.